Welcome to another interesting episode of From the Correspondent, where our team of reporters bring you gripping stories, untold perspective, and on-the-ground insight from every corner of the world. I am Emmanuel Tewasi, your host. Join us as we uncover the world around you, one story at a time. First story on our lineup today. The Minister of State for Agriculture, Dr. Aliyu Abdullahi, emphasizes that cooperatives are crucial in transforming Nigeria's socio-economic landscape. The federal government says it is determined to position Nigeria among the top 80 countries on the Global Human Capital Index by the year 2030. Then we'll unpack the complex power dynamics in River State, exploring the ripple effect of appointing local government administrators and what it means for governance and stability in that state. Then we'll bring you the Anambra State Government Police Command rolled out armored tanks and other gadgets to intensify the fight against crime in the state. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, paying tribute to the football legend Christian Chukwu, urged Nigerians to honor heroes while alive. And lastly, we'll look at armed men attacked and killed 3 police men at a checkpoint near Ozuda Market on Achi Ingi Road, Oji River local government area of Enugu State. Go nowhere, we would be right back after the break. Stay with us. The Minister of State for Agriculture, Dr. Aliyu Abdullahi, says cooperatives have a great role to play in transforming the country's socio-economic landscape. Dr. Abdullahi stated this during the Renewed Hope Cooperative Reforms National Training Workshop for Trustees Management Committee and Managers of Cooperative Societies in the Southeast and South-South regions held at the Federal Cooperative College, Oji River local government area of Enugu State.
The role of the cooperative sector in fostering food security and socio-economic progress is becoming increasingly obvious. The Minister of State for Agriculture described cooperatives as a trans-generational vehicle for economic growth. He underscored their contribution to reducing hunger, with agricultural cooperatives accounting for 35% of efforts to combat food insecurity nationwide. The minister said that the workshop was part of government's revitalization blueprint aimed at strengthening the cooperative sector. The minister also announced plans to establish a dedicated bank for cooperative societies, develop a robust regulatory framework, and digitalize cooperative operations to enhance efficiency and transparency.
So we're going to, under this reform, work together with the state, down to the local government, to make sure that the right thing is done. We're also going to establish a cooperative data and analysis platform to enable everybody who is within the ecosystem have access in a manner that at the end of the day, everything will be clear. And I believe that is part of the global best practice, and we're going to do just that. Definitely, it should interest us to say if you want to participate in government-run programs, whether in the federal or state, it's high time we begin to give you conditions under which you must operate your cooperative if you must be supported.
The Provost of the Federal Cooperative College, Oji River, Dr. Jude Obidiego, emphasized the critical role of cooperatives in driving economic empowerment and sustainable development. Obidiego urged participants to leverage the training to adopt modern management practices for revitalizing the cooperative sector. The chairman of Oji River local government area, Greg Anyabudike, praised the minister's commitment for revitalizing the cooperative sector. Anyabudike assured the minister of his support for the cooperative movement and spoke of the state's farm estate initiative, which is aimed to establish over 20,000 cooperatives to empower farmers in the state.
And so we are believing
that with what Enugu State government is doing with the farm estate program, Honorable Minister, I have to explain this farm estate program. So we have 260 wards in Enugu State, and each of the 260 wards are to bring out 200 hectares of land each. So it means that about 52 hectares of land, which would naturally translate to 52,000 cooperatives, will evolve the Enugu State by this year and next year. So again, in Ojiriba, we are going to have about 4,000 persons accumulating themselves in about 20 cooperative societies at least. So the meaning is that government wants to go to farm with the people.
Some participants also highlighted the challenges of cooperatives in their various states.
Challenges is the attitude, the zeal to make sure that the cooperative leaders imbibe actual cooperative culture. Right now, they are not imbibing the cooperative culture properly. That's why you see them go astray. So if they imbibe the cooperative culture properly, they will to develop well. But I told them that all of them have not paid the annual subscription for the past 12 years. They have not paid annual subscription. You see? So it's making the movement very, very difficult. And the naira value is high. But in Nigerian government is not helping us, while individuals are not helping the movement. So the movement is owing 2024, and now 2025 has come in again.
The effort you are making needs a follow-up drive. And we in the preparation have one basic challenge, which is common to all of us in these state situations. That is logistics support.
The problem we have is we don't have the logistics, the finance to go into the field and they get give these operators cooperative education, have cooperative training.
In all sectors, so long as life is concerned, cooperative is there doing very well. There are doctors cooperative, there is estate cooperative, there is transport cooperative, there are various cooperative industrialists that comes together. In fact, right now, one of the things that they did in the Institute of Cooperative Professional Management conference last year at Port Harcourt, they are now talking about electricity cooperative. You know that is a challenge in our nation, and cooperators are now trying to venture into sustenance. So cooperative go beyond agriculture.
The two-day workshop marked a significant step in the government's broader strategy to modernize cooperatives and align them with global best practices for greater impact. In Enugu, I am Emmanuel Tewasi for Signature TV News.
The federal government says it is determined to position Nigeria among the top 80 countries on the Global Human Capital Index by the year 2025. Vice President Kashim Shettima made the commitment to New York, the Akwa Ibom state capital, at the inauguration of the state's National Human Capital Development Accelerator Project and the Arise Human Capital Development Strategy.
The Vice President inspected ongoing work at several Arise HCD projects, including model primary schools and the Arise Park, an innovative environmental reclamation project. Shettima stated that the federal government is working to institutionalize the Human Capital Development Fund to ensure that whoever occupies office tomorrow will invest in people. He commended the Akwa Ibom state government for becoming the first to implement the national blueprint across all local government areas, noting that successful policies must be rooted in grassroots implementation.
The launch of the Arise Human Capital Development Strategy by His Excellency Governor Umo Eno is a template for each set of the Federation. It's a strategy that acknowledges that we can't build an enduring castle without a solid foundation. What Akwa Ibom has shown us here isn't just progress, is called leadership. It has become the first state in the nation to localize the HCD vision in its truest form. While other states have a strategy tailored towards the state, Akwa Ibom has taken a step forward by adopting the strategies at all local government areas. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our choice of priority indicators to track is guided by a studied understanding of the direction of the world and how it is headed.
Earlier, Governor Umo Eno assured that the state would continue to work with the Office of the Vice President to ensure that the program scales down to local government councils.
This has further reinforced the fact that the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, does not play politics with development, and this we deeply, deeply appreciate. Let me salute the great work His Excellency the Vice President has done in putting together the building blocks of this critical initiative and leading frontally towards its implementation and delivery.
The National Coordinator, Human Capital Development in Nigeria, Ms. Rukaya El-Rufai, said Nigeria ranked 168 out of 174 countries in the Human Capital Development Index. She commended the Vice President and the Governor of Akwa Ibom for continuing with the initiative, which she said had a very long-term framework.
So Nigeria ranked 168 out of 174 countries. And on this basis, in 2018, an emergency National Economic Council was held with some key donors. My boss here was part of that NEC dispensation.
Special Advisor to the Governor and Chairman, Akwa Ibom State's Human Capital Development Council, Dr. Nathaniel Adiaban, said the Arise Human Capital Development Strategic Plan represents the state's collective resolve to empower its citizens through education, skill development, and opportunities. Clean cooking stoves were distributed to some selected beneficiaries by the Vice President.
You're still watching From the Correspondent, where we bring you stories behind the headlines. Today happens to be a special day because unlike other days or episodes where I get to bring people to talk about their experiences on the field, I would be sharing my own personal experience. I don't know why I'm smiling, but you will get to know when we get to that. Armed men attacked and killed 3 policemen on Tuesday morning at a checkpoint near Ozuda Market on Achi Ini Road, Oji River local government area of Fenego State. The assailants also set a police petrol van on fire, causing panic among traders of the Eke market, which operates only on designated days.
As investigations continues, residents of Achi remain on urge, awaiting concrete actions to reassure them of their safety and bring the perpetrators to justice. One of the slain officers was a recent police recruit from Enugu Aku community in Achi. Following the incident, police swiftly cordoned off the area, restricting vehicular and pedestrian movement to secure the scene and facilitate investigations. Prominent Achi residents have expressed grief and concern over the attack, which has heightened fear in the community. The chairman of Achi Central Security Network, Henry Achi Ekwelu, described the incident as tragic, noting there was still the unresolved murder of 2 prominent Achi citizens about 2 years ago.
No, we've had an incident. That's the reason why Achi Central Neighborhood Watch was set up in the first place. We had the brutal killing of 2 brothers, one a former local government chairman and commissioner in the Enugu state government. He was brutally gunned down in Achi as well, in my village there, with his elder brother. So that gave rise to the formation of Achi Central Neighborhood Watch. And now this is the second time such an incident is taking place. Quite horrendous, and it's not something we really want Achi to be known for, but it has happened and it has
Another indigene of the community, Law Ibenyinwan, advocated for the extension of surveillance cameras to rural areas like Achi to enhance security in the hinterlands. Ibenyinwan emphasized the need for the use of modern technology and intelligence gathering to deter future attacks and aid arrest of perpetrators.
There's need to get more sophisticated with information gadgets, with CCTV cameras here and there, so that even when such things are happening, they are being captured somewhere, so that investigation will be very easy and to get them will be very much easier. So we must, just like the killings we see here and there, there is need for the country's architecture, security architecture at all levels to be improved upon. Proper funding, proper enlightenment, proper education, proper whatever it is that has to be done.
The traditional ruler of Adu Achi and the chairman of Achi Traditional Rulers Council, Igwe Sunday Ora, said the killings highlighted serious security lapses in the area. He called for immediate steps from various stakeholders to address the situation.
This incident of yesterday is a real embarrassment to the entire local government, not only Achi in particular, because yesterday was our Eke market day, our prime market day, and this incident happened in the market. Shows the boldness of the people and the intruders. One, that we have a network in Achi, which is called Security Network. And we kind of try to put all the security measures in this, to avert something like this. But to my greatest surprise, the whole thing looks like it has collapsed. One, we have barricades in all the entrances and exits of Achi to be able to check such incident, to be able to deal with it.
The chairman of Oji River local government area, Greg Anyabudike, said security agencies are already trailing the assailants with the information readily available to them. Anyabudike also outlined plans to bolster security infrastructure in the area to prevent future incidents.
Mobilized security agencies who promptly blocked the Ola Abugas and from exit points to Anambra and to Abia states. I also reached out to my colleagues, or my colleague at Oglogo government. I called Oglogo Mencha to block out his own end. I also called the former House of Rep member for Ojogwani, Honorable Tobio Kichuku, to tell his people to block out their own end. That is at that same instance. Surprisingly, the criminals gunned down 2 officers of the police and also inflamed the patrol vehicle and then made a way through that Umako Ugo road. It's quite unfortunate that they could escape to an unknown hideout, but I'm very certain that with the details available to the security agencies, they will surely be apprehended. On our part, we have never left any stone unturned to ensure the security of lives and property in Oji.
24 hours after the incident, neither the police authority nor the state government has reacted to the incident. Efforts to reach the Enugu State Police Public Relations Officer, Daniel Ndukwe, did not yield positive result as he did not respond to phone calls. In Enugu, I am Emmanuel Dewasi for Signature TV News.
Welcome back. You're still watching From the Correspondent on Signature TV, and that story you just watched was done by me, who happens to be your host. Like I said earlier, today is a special day for me because unlike having other people share their own experience, I would be engaging with you on my own experience on the field. It was quite intense because of the issue at hand when this ugly incident happened. It was on a Tuesday morning when I was actually on my way to Oji River local government for a coverage on Minister of State for Agriculture's working visit, when we got a call from the office that assailant or gunmen, as you may want to call it, had attacked a police checkpoint at Ozuda market, just along that Achi Ini road, and killed 3 policemen and set their petrol van on fire. So it was quite a scary one, because by the time we got to the scene, policemen and army personnel were already on ground, preventing people from getting there. But aside the whole story and how the development following the incident, one thing that stood out for me is the fact that up to now, today is Sunday, the incident happened on Tuesday, and up to now there have been no reaction. There have been no statement from either the state government or the police command here in Enugu, and for me it's quite disturbing, even though interactions with the chairman assure that concerned authorities were making frantic efforts to make sure that those who carried out this dastardly act are apprehended. But that not to say we in Enugu for some time, looking at since the emergence of sit at home, which the present government came on board and tried to fight to a large extent, and we have witnessed improvement. However, this particular incident opened our eyes to the fact that securing the metropolis alone is not enough. In fact, securing one place doesn't mean you've secured Enugu State. Achi is a town, it's a big area, and it's like a gateway into in and out of Enugu if you're coming from the Anambra axis. So it's a busy town, and for this event, this incident to happen, which is not the only incident which have happened in the past 2 or 3 years. We had an incident where 2 prominent sons from that area were also killed by suspected gunmen or kidnappers. And so the tension, the tone this incident has set, or the narrative which this incident has sent out is quite not good, because we believe in the authorities and the government, which has statutory responsibility of safeguarding life and property in the state. And on such occasion where policemen were attacked and their vehicle burnt, we expected that they should have been an update, at least even residents of that particular area should have known the extent to which the government, or the strategies the government have put in place to ensure that those who perpetrated this act are brought to book and assure the residents of safety. But since we've not heard or seen any official statement from the state government, we wonder why that is so. All right, so let's cut the story short. Let me just there's a video of me talking to market women and some of the standby. We'll bring it to you shortly, so that but while we were on our way to that, we were already in Oji River. While we were on our way to Federal Cooperative College, we had to divert from where we were to where the incident happened. Is about, say, 15 minutes drive. So as we got the call, our car developed a fault. The vehicle that drove itself all the way from Enugu to a particular area in Oji River refused to start, and we had to just rally around to look for a way to see how we can get it fixed. And as God may have it, it wasn't a major fault, it was just something that could be fixed. immediately, and we rushed. But at the time we got to the scene, security agencies were already there. So we spoke to people who stood at the junction, who were able to give us a brief of what happened. So we decided to go closer. But one other thing that happened, which to me, I would say I don't know what I was thinking at that point, because closing on the security personnel who were at the scene, they kept shouting that we should go back. We kept driving close, and at some point they were getting ready. I don't know, maybe they wanted to shoot, one can't say, but thank God anything of such didn't happen. So we had to get down from the vehicle, and while we were approaching, they kept shouting, no media, no media. If it is the media, we shouldn't come close, we should go back, you know. And I was kind of confused. The media and the security are they not supposed to be partners in ensuring that the society is secured, informed, and the right information is passed across, you know? So we even from what we learned, that even the DPO of that area was on ground and couldn't even think of giving us maybe a hint about what had happened. Why I'm even bringing up this issue, because when the chairman of Jiriva local government came on air a day or two after this incident, he was trying to dispute the number of people who were killed. He said only 2 persons were killed, and those people who were caught up in that particular incident said 2 persons were shot and 1 burnt in the vehicle. This goes a long way to show how there's this gap between the media and the concerned authorities, who are supposed to be working hand in gloves with the media to ensure that the security is protected. One would have ordinarily expected that because of the sensitivity of this kind of issue, they would have briefed us so that we have an official statement and what to carry out to the people. But instead of seeing us as friends and partners, they became a hostile towards us. And it's not the first time it's happening in Nigeria. We've had issues of media harassment, you know. The media is only important when they want to push a certain narrative or so unfortunately, while we got there, the police van had already moved the bodies, and they were covered in leaves, so you couldn't see the dead bodies. And it's quite pathetic that in the face of rising economic challenges, we are experiencing this kind of incident, particularly in Enugu, where the state government seems to be doing its best to ensure that Enugu is a business friendly and an investment destination for investors. So back to the story, we had this altercation with the security personnel who didn't allow us to go close to that to where it happened. So we went back and spoke to eyewitnesses who narrated what happened, you know. So like I said, if there was an official statement from maybe the DPO who was currently on ground at the time we arrived there about what happened or the number of casualties, we wouldn't have had this argument, you know. So we need the media and the government need to do more in terms of partnership, in terms of seeing us as a friend, even though due to the emergence of new media and citizen journalism, a lot of narratives are being aired or published which are not correct. All right, so I hope you were able to follow up on the story on the police attack at Chi in Ojiriva local government, which I happened to be the one who covered it. All right, so we'll be moving on to our next story, which is from Rivers State, where the air is thick with tension from political storms in that state, where a democratic elected governor was suspended. To make the matter worse, the appointment of local government administrators by the Lonso administrator has sparked outrage, a move that has raised eyebrows and questions about the legality of these appointments.
The expectations of our citizens are high, and rightly so. They deserve leaders who are honest, selfless, and devoted to building a better future for all. Let me make it unequivocally clear here. This administration will not tolerate any form of recklessness, abuse of office, or misuse of public funds or trust. The resources allocated to our local governments must be used strictly for the purposes intended. There must be accountability and value for money in every project executed, every policy implemented, and every kobo spent. The people of Rivers State deserve to see how their money is being used, and it is your duty to ensure that they receive proper accounts and value. To this end, we will work out the necessary modalities to monitor and ensure full compliance with the principles of due process, transparency, and zero tolerance for financial recklessness across all local government areas.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, on Tuesday inaugurated a 21-man committee led by the House Leader Professor Julius Ihomveri to oversee the affairs of the SOA administration in Rivers State.
The sensitivity and gravity of this assignment cannot be overemphasized. The state of emergency in Rivers State has generated widespread interest across the nation, and the eyes of all Nigerians are upon us as they await to see if the National Assembly can live up to the high expectation placed upon it. Therefore, the task before this committee is not routine. It is a mission of national significance that will serve as a litmus test for our commitment to democratic principles and constitutional governance. The importance of the assignment places a considerable burden on the chairman and all members, as every action taken will be subject to national scrutiny.
I assure you on behalf of my colleagues in the other committee that we will not disappoint you. We will not disappoint the National Assembly and we will not disappoint Nigeria. We will begin our work immediately. We will remain current, committed, and retired in the
We have also seen various women groups come out to protest for and against the emergency rule in Rivers State. For me, I think it's just a story of power, promise, and a community holding its breath. You're still watching from the Correspondent on Signature TV, and we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.
Every second, every minute, every day.
Welcome back. You're still watching from the correspondent on Signature TV with Emmanuel Tewase. The Anambra State Police Command and other security agencies have rolled out armor tanks and other gadgets to intensify the fight against crime, especially in the festive period. The ceremony, which is in line with the launch of Operation Zero Kidnapping and Other Violent Crimes and the state codenamed Udogachi, took place at Anambra at the Amobia flyover Oka, the state capital. Let's take a look at how the event went down.
Launching the Operation Udogachi Zero Kidnapping and Other Violent Crime Security Measures, the State Commissioner of Police Ikioye Orutugu said police operatives will be more visible, employing stop and search and raids of eatery and drinking spots. Orutugu vowed to continue pushing crime out of Anambra society in liaison with the Army, Navy, Air Force, and other paramilitary groups and the vigilante groups. He assured Anambra communities of a crime-free Easter and going forward.
Entertainment, a hub of games, a hub of enjoyment has become some sort of a shadow of its own self.
The State Commandant of Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps, Makun Olatunde, confirmed that the security operatives are chasing criminal elements out of the bushes in the state.
Used to be their home, but now they are the smoker.
Stakeholders like hotelers, farmers, and civil society groups who sent their goodwill messages commended the Udogachi security outfit for its efforts at reducing crime, but called for full implementation of anti-cultism law to nip the crime in the bud.
The service commanders will be given to their headmates, and the additional police will handle it behind to take pictures with stakeholders like Ultimate Women Group, AGRO, Anambra State Association of Restaurants and Bars, members of PCRC use
and also government should provide more operational vehicles for the service streets. Trucks, the motorbikes, and everything they need to combat this crime. Because if the government do their own part, they to do their own part, and we as ordinary civilians, they do also do our own part by giving the right information.
The launch witnessed the demonstration of combat readiness by the officers of
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, on Saturday joined the list of high-profile Nigerians who have paid condolence visit to the family of late football icon and former Rangers and national team captain Christian Chugu. Obi, who was at the Transikulu residence of Christian Chugu, expressed deep concern over the neglect of national icons by both Southeast and federal government. Correspondent Lillian Wale was there.
The former presidential candidate Peter Obi revealed that he has been supporting ex-Rangers players with monthly stipends and medical care over the years. He stressed the need for the government and Nigerians to honor their heroes who laid down their lives in service to the nation, not just in death, but while they are alive. Obi, who highlighted his bond with the football icon and other Rangers legends, noted that individual efforts towards the welfare of these icons was not enough to adequately cater their needs.
Chairman Chukwu is somebody I've consistently been close to. I've been close to the old Rangers for a long time, where I've actually instituted him. I've been paying them a little token as upkeep just before I got involved with government. And when I was in government, continued that till today.
The Labour Party chieftain also emphasized the need for consistent recognition and support for those who serve the nation with pride and dedication. He lamented how celebrated figures like Ima Okala have been forgotten, stressing the urgent need to honor and care for them. He expressed deep concern over the neglect of national icons by the Nigerian government and Southeast governors.
Who served and played at his own time are ignored. So you got to question what is the speculation? Can't you see what it is coming to his house? Can't you see his house? For what he put in, they are totally ignored. It's not only him, all of them were ignored. Achebe, who was first captain of Green Ghost, was ignored. So is the rest of them who have done very well. They are all ignored.
A chartered accountant, Ben Etiaba, while commenting on Obi's affiliation with the ex-players and the deceased icon, emphasized that the welfare of national icons should be a top priority.
Came and you've seen the reaction and how much he appreciated his presence and how much he has also promised to begin to look more into their welfare going forward. So I'm really happy about today. Happy he came. Happy also by what Governor Peter Mbah's visit has achieved. You saw that Christian Chukwu's road is now being bad. Sort of being fixed the right way. So, if he's going to take Christian Chukwu's death for things to happen, okay, so be it. But I would have preferred that these things were done when he was alive. But having said that, how we go, there's still a few of them still left. Let's begin to take care of them. And don't forget also that Christian Chukwu is not the only ex-Rangers in the mortuary today. You have Christian Isaacson so too, who is dead. So it is a sad period for all of us. The remaining ones, let's make sure that we go beyond Christian's funeral, Isaac's funeral, to begin to take care of their welfare. If it is health insurance, or if it is putting them on monthly, or if it's covering their hospital bills, whatever it is, welfare of ex-Rangers should be paramount to all of us.
The message from P2B and some earlier visitors to the Chukwu family is clear, that Nigeria must do better in honoring its heroes as one way of encouraging the virtues of hard work, dedication, commitment, integrity, and patriotism. Lilian Wali, Signature TV News.
You're welcome back to From the Correspondent on Signature TV. I'm joined in the studio with by Chinemeremi K. Bonam, our correspondent. Chinemeremi, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We are in a festive period, so happy Easter. Talking about Easter, I understand you went round you spoke to people about Easter. Can you just tell us some of their views and concerns as concerned the Easter celebration?
All right. We Nigerians, we are always very good with adjusting and adapting to things, most especially when it comes to economic restraints and all that.
Okay.
So visiting and rather going around the Enugu, I saw people who were still, as at Saturday, people were in the market shopping. Like the market was, if there's something like over full, everywhere
But
was
people say
stocked.
that there is no money, things are
That
difficult.
that is the issue. That's where they're adjusting and adapting to situations and circumstances comes in. Because you see people buying, even the less privileged, you see them, purchasing things for the Easter celebration.
Well, from the market survey or what you found out in the market, how much is a pint of tomatoes sold now?
Most times marketers take advantage of ceremonies, events like this.
Okay.
Because as at last week Saturday, yes, a painter of tomato is not the same amount it was sold today.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a painter because I didn't go for that to ask the amount.
Okay.
But yes, I met people, and one of the persons I spoke with said that she had to pay through her nose to purchase a painter of tomato. So the issue was not became probably because of the celebration. But then again, you get to find out that people were still not laid back because of the situation. People kept on purchasing things because yes, man must celebrate. I was asking someone in church and he said yes, that when you celebrate the resurrection of Christ will provide for you to go and buy in the market.
Okay.
So that ideology, that mentality will also inspire a lot of persons to celebrate. Yes, although you will say it will not look like the way it was 5 years ago, where you go to so many eateries by now and everywhere is bubbling. And,
Well, I think talking about the celebration, or let's say the true essence of Easter, people most times are carried away by the celebration, and they fail to take into consideration the reason for the season, as it may. You spoke to some people. Were they able to give you their own view or perspective about what Easter means to them?
Yes, in fact, drawing back, because we followed through from the Lenten season. Yes, we followed through. We went for both the washing of feet that was done on the Moody Thursday down to the Good Friday. In fact, we started with the Palm Sunday. And when you look at these activities, you understand that people still have the idea of the reason for the season. You get those activities are what actually makes up the Easter Sunday. So without those activities, we will not have an Easter Sunday. So following through those activities, you saw people who came to church to celebrate. And there's something that Catholics does that actually gets me wondering. I think we'll have to ask the Catholic Reverend Father when he comes. I don't know.
Right.
But they have a way of kind of masking their statue, those statues that they mask it for a while throughout the Lenten period. So this Easter, I went to church. I got to a Catholic church, and I found out that they've already made that open. So it also has a significance to them. So all those are actually something that means a lot, that makes us remember that Christ died at some point. He was betrayed.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I saw
point.
something online that actually got my attention. Someone said, if you know where Judas is, you should bill him. He has been paid.
Yes.
It's just on the side though. But then again, the economy is taking a toll, has taken a toll on almost everyone, the rich, the poor. We don't have middle class anymore, so everybody's complaining, So with the economic situation, and what are maybe prayers, which I was even expecting maybe you go deeper to tell me some of those, maybe should I call it rituals of Easter and what follows from what you saw. Are you a Catholic?
No, I'm not. I'm an Anglican.
What was what is striking similarity or the difference you notice between how the Catholics celebrate theirs and how the Anglicans?
I think a Catholic has a bit of difference because based on their doctrines.
Okay.
Yes, but I know that there is one thing Catholics also do, which is beyond Easter celebration. They pray for the country, they pray for Nigeria, and I think their prayer goes beyond what they have in their doctrine. It's actually kind of reveals or portrays the nature or what Nigerians are facing, the sufferings that Nigerians are going through. So yes, I would say that having covered or having gone around some churches have their own had celebrated their Easter in their special way, but there are major significance and more like what makes Christendom. Okay. The fact that on a Palm Sunday you see whether you're a Catholic, whether you're an Anglican, whether you're a Methodist, you have your palm that represents that they say it shows that the humility of Christ. Hosanna. It has its own symbol, and I believe that no church instead of going with a palm front went with something else, maybe a white handkerchief or something. No, it's more like that is what makes it showing what the event was all about.
A unique symbol
very
for that.
Yes, just and also the Easter. Everybody knows that we are celebrating the resurrection of Christ, just like we celebrate the birth of Christ.
All right,
on
thank
Christmas.
you so much, Chinemere, for coming on the show. Because of time, we'd like to stop here, but it's been a wonderful conversation with Chinemere Mikegbuna, who went around to monitor the activities that went into the Easter celebration for this year. A lot of residents, even though going through the economic hardship, found a way to celebrate Easter in their own special way. This year's Easter is being marked by bloodbath, if I may put it that way. Recent violence in Benue and Plateau State has resulted to insignificant loss of life, with over 100 deaths reported in April alone. This is so sad. Is it not glaring that this issue has gone beyond conflicts driven by competition for land, yet our leaders do little or nothing about these security concerns? For how long shall our leaders play politics with the lives of those they claim to govern? So I think it's something we should start asking ourselves. For me, the one that pains the most is the fact that the government, in their shame, tried to deny most of these attacks just to score cheap points of the most peaceful state, or whatever reason it may be for them, at the expense of peace and shared humanity. Taking example for what happened in Achi in Ochiriba local government area of Enugu State, Nigeria. Which way is this how we're going to continue for the rest of our lives? With what we see, if we don't rise to the occasion and challenge the status quo, or better, defend ourselves against this terror that would soon envelop us, we would wake up one day to no Nigeria, because we would not have a country to call our own. And this is where we draw the curtains for this edition. Stick around for our next program. I remain Emmanuel Tewasi. See you next week.